Greetings, people of the internet. It is I, Knuckles Productions 360, and welcome back to another commentary on Sonic Overdrive Episode 2.
What are you
So yes, Episode 2. So this was actually made. I believe it was. Yes, so the first episode was made only in 5 months, and this was made in like 3 months, which is quite insane when you consider the time gap between this one and. Yeah. Oh, and this opening scene was inspired by the first scene in Spyro the Dragon, the original one for the PlayStation 1. The kind of TV interview.
I mean, that's
and yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay.
A little bit of animation there.
What do you think of this?
I just repeated the same animation. Oh, I really don't like looking at that. And then here, that drawing there you see is a drawing that I drew. And yeah.
He's a clucky racer.
And of course, Hedgehog Films as he returns as Jet the Hawk. He is the current voice of Jet, and he brings the character to life, and it's just amazing. And yeah, plus I love this part where he just laughs on Hedgehog Stew, which is a reference to Shredder's line. It's a play on Shredder's line from the animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where he says that he'll dine on turtle stew. And the intro here was changed when I got the modern Robotnik. It was already changed when episode 1 already came out, but again, I didn't have time to implement the new intro. So yeah, so still the same intro as usual. This episode was actually quite delayed because I had Jet and Wave at the time, but I didn't have Storm, and the seller on eBay wasn't back for a while, and yeah, eventually I did get Storm, and yeah, did get Storm, and well,
please remind
was able to
me
do the
again.
episode.
Why have you called me here today?
And another thing that I also took note with the first episode was the moving camera. The camera constantly shaked so much in episode 1 of Sonic Overdrive. It's a bit annoying, but oh well. And yeah, so the voice of Storm was I voiced Storm.
Idiot.
I also voiced Wave for a little bit before Chaos Chronicles took over the role. And yeah, Jet's pretty much stayed the same. Also, there's Metal Sonic in the background and Cubot.
Called you annoying.
And yeah.
Wow. That's
I also really like the set that I built for this lair for Robotnik on the Egg Dreadnought.
There has to be a way to beat
And
the hedgehog.
yeah, I also like how Jet's like really determined to be the fastest thing alive in this series.
Okay, listen up, Beak Squad.
And he'll even go to Robotnik for help.
Sonic's hoverboard during
But then a lot of people probably ask, well, isn't Riders and Zero Gravity canon? With my own universe of Overdrive, some parts are, some parts aren't. And yeah.
I will send it in when Sonic's in front.
And I do like this part coming up. Hang on, where is it?
Just like that, I will win for sure.
This part right here. Yep. There's just Lego, and they just randomly
If
disappear,
only they knew I was using them to get that
which is
emerald.
really weird. But yeah,
Orbot. Prepare
some of the
for
animation's a bit
Megatron.
quite clunky, to be honest, and yeah, I'm not a fan of how sluggish sometimes it can look, but I'm improving it. And James the Red Guy 5, who was the voice of Orbot, also voices Tails in this episode. And yeah, so there's also a cameo from one of my other characters from another series. And I will admit that this part right here was actually one of my favourite parts to work on in the entire episode. I believe I was on holiday when I just about finished the scene.
Oh yeah.
And I do like this part coming up.
That. Thanks, bud. No problem.
Yeah, there's a bit more talking.
Shadow? Well, you see, Tails, it's a long story.
You got San Francisco 27 seconds earlier. And this was animated at 25 frames per second. Before with Sonic Overdrive, it was the usual one was 15 frames, similar to a Lego movie, but this was animated at 25. And yeah, I just love this part with Shadow. And this is the clip that I uploaded as a sneak peek, and I was very proud of how the green screen effect turned out for Shadow. Although I can't actually put two characters on the same screen, which is a bit annoying, so I always had to cut it back, which is really annoying. But yeah, so for the voice of Shadow, I did the voice because I didn't know anyone who could do a good Shadow voice. This was until when Infinite 007 took over the role of Shadow, and yeah, who did a much better job than I did at this version of Shadow. Also, I love how Shadow just says the P word at Sonic, and yeah, Sonic's like,
okay, well,
yeah,
maybe not that long.
and
Sonic, look out!
Huh?
and yeah,
Whoa!
and here's a action scene, and
Eggman must be
yeah,
spying on us.
this episode in general I thought was okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a massive improvement over the early episodes, but it's good. It not only introduces the Babylon Rogues, but also, speak of the Red Devil himself, Knuckles the Echidna appears in this series. I really don't know why I included Knuckles. I think it was because I wanted to have all of Team Sonic in this, because, well, Team Sonic.
So, Knuckles, what brings you here to Mystic
And,
Ruins
yeah.
anyway? Looking for something, and shouldn't you be guarding the Master Emerald?
And I did the voice of Knuckles before Crispy Motion took over the role of Knuckles in episode 5, and he would become the current voice for Knuckles so far in Overdrive.
Well, you see, back in 1999, I had this hat. It was
And
an amazing hat.
and yeah,
You know, the one from the Sonic OVA?
really do like how
You know,
Knuckles kind of is
The OVA.
portrayed in the later episodes of Overdrive, but I
that
like this
hat. I
version
thought that
of
kinda
Knuckles a
fun.
little bit.
Yeah,
In like
well, some
episode
other
2,
knucklehead
and then
stole a duplicate
coming
that
up
looked
to
just
episode
like it.
3 and
I'm trying to find it.
the other ones.
Oh, and don't worry about the Master Emerald. Who's just looking after it?
And yeah, bit of talking going on.
Right.
I haven't seen this
Well,
episode
anyway,
in
I heard
so
about
long,
this
so a lot of
race
this
thing
is
that's going on.
it's very new actually to
Don't know
me, or
what's
a
happening.
little bit. Well, I wouldn't say
I knew
new,
you'd be a
but just
part of it.
more
Oh, okay.
nostalgic,
Then wait, Knuckles.
I would
If
say.
you join Sonic in the race, that means we have a better chance of winning.
There's Tails talking
Sure,
about
I'm up to
something,
help you guys out. Huh, awesome.
and
Alright,
Sonic
guys,
giving his whole
let's show
"we can
those
do this,"
crews
blah blah
the
blah
real
blah blah. We're
superpower
Sonic
of
heroes,
teamwork.
yay! Stuff. And this was a very interesting part. I should probably bring up the subject. So I decided to have a bit of a news channel right here dedicated to Sonic Riders called I think it was like an SFRITV special edition, and yeah. And a lot of people probably want to know, why do I use Doctor Who figures? Why do I use the Doctor in a lot of Sonic media? It's because I don't have any humans figures at the time, and I still don't. It's because I'm on a bit of a budget, and yeah, I just don't have that. And they're kind of the closest things to having in a human environment. And yeah, I also like in the news down in the bottom, it says, "Have you seen Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel?" Bit of a reference to the posters that you see all over in Sonic Generations. And there's some callbacks to some of the past events, such as when Perfect Chaos flooded the city and when Tails saved Station Square from Eggman from the Sonic Adventure series. So that's quite good from Adventure 1.
That's all I got. Due to the script I was given.
And there's a bit of news and stuff going on. There's also a chow on the table. There's the boom mic as well. Just wanted to add that in. I was going to have a digital one, but I didn't know how to do it at the time.
The bomb has been placed on Sonic's
And yeah. And there's so many characters in the background. There's Mario, Luigi, Amy, Tail, I think Charmy, Spike. There's like so many characters. A lot of different characters. I think it was like so big that I had to cut a few characters out. But yeah. Oh, and I do like this part. If you can listen really quietly, you can hear someone say "go," and it's supposed to be a reference to in Spider-Man 2 with Mr. Lazeez saying the "go." Sorry, really terrible impression of Mr. Lazeez. But yeah. And I should probably talk about the race part with Sonic. The race. So the first thing I want to bring up with the race scene is that there was actually going to be a lot more. There was going to be a race through the city, and there was going to be a lot more kind of high-speed action that you would expect from something like Sonic Riders, sorry, I keep getting confused. But due to the amount of time that I wanted to get the episode out, I didn't want to keep people waiting, so a lot of it was just cut out, surprisingly, and yeah.
That's our cue.
This shot here was just reused from Overdrive, from the first Overdrive episode, and it really makes me very angry that I did that. I don't know why, but to be honest, it just makes that scene a little bit lazy. There's just Eggman, and yep. And there was also another scene. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but yeah. And then you got this mechanical contraption car made out of Lego that I kind of liked. I thought it was pretty funny. It just looked like a dumpster fire. You got Knuckles and Sonic.
I got that knucklehead.
I do like this part right here with Storm. I'd definitely say Storm would be one of the funniest characters I've voiced. I do like voicing him. I do like this part how Eggman tries to get him off and he just falls off. And just calling Storm worthless as usual and decides to, well, win the race.
I'll show you I'm the fastest thing
And
in
yeah.
the universe. See you at the finish line, Sonic.
And yeah, Knuckles will deal with the car, which we see, I believe, off screen, I think.
Looks like I got some things to do.
I believe it is, yep. And then we see Sonic just completely annihilate Jet. The inspiration for this episode, well, besides from Free Riders, was also Team Sonic Racing, the latest game that Sega and Sumo Digital released in the racing series for Sonic. And yeah.
How could this get any worse?
Jet the Hawk, you are.
And then there's the Ninth Doctor, just with his head kind of cropped out so you don't see it. And yeah, and then you got this part with Jet.
Because I mean, Tails managed to
and yeah,
what's going on, and he found this little iPad that contains.
He admits that yeah, he tries not to say that it was him, and yeah.
And then of course, we found out the Wave was in cahoots with Robotnik. And then of course, we have the car.
I was a bit annoyed that none of the characters moved, like how in some of the others.
Even when on the racetrack,
again, it was quite lazy that I didn't move any of the characters. I'm quite disappointed in myself that I didn't move them. That they're just standing there, menacingly, just looking.
Yes,
it's a bit annoying.
It was
and
true. I did
yeah, like none of them are moving their hands or blinking or anything to symbolize. They just look like figures, just pictures taken. Sometimes it's not good to come back to videos that I've already made, but yeah.
I'm an echidna.
And I do like this part of reference to Scooby-Doo, and a reference to people not knowing what an echidna is. And then this logo for Eggman was originally going to be a hologram, with Eggman kind of taunting Sonic, saying that he was going, like, that he stole the emerald, which was a deleted scene. And I should probably talk about the original ending of the film, of the episode. In the original ending, Wave was going to betray Jet and Storm and join Robotnik.
I should thank you for entering.
However, I realized that when I was watching the games and reading some of the comics, that was really kind of out of character for Wave. So in the end, I changed the ending to this. And I actually think this ending works a little bit better, because then it's not annoying all of the die-hard Wave fans out there. And yeah.
Goodbye.
And so Jet would not be seen in this series, well, from the episodes, I would say, till episode 6, where he did return, and episode 7 for a brief cameo.
Well, now that that's all over
And yeah,
with,
and this also gives the indication on where Knuckles was during episode 3 and 4. This sentence coming up. So Sonic just runs off as usual. Tails chases him. There's a bit of animation. And this part hints to Knuckles, where he was during 3 and 4. And yeah, there is Sonic Overdrive episode 2. It's a good one, so yeah. So make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Helps out the channel a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys.